Trade recap March the 30th. Today I've taken two kind of good trades and one which was like kind of meh. Yeah, today what was the expectancy? Basically, we had a crazy sell-off. The current market environment is kind of difficult to trade because with all those war and uncertainty going on, private credit stuff, and this leads to like a crazy high VIX, which basically means that more puts are being bought than more calls, which leads to more sell pressure, and all the moves tend to being sold instead of being bought. And yeah, what was today like the expectancy? In the ETH, we held like this low area here, pretty good. On the left, you can see a 400-day cumulative volume profile. Here is like the weekly one. And I had like some areas of interest to trade from, which basically was like this here. Somewhere in here, there was like not the expectancy there to trade from it, but if we would have like accepted into this last weekly balance up here, I would have tried to go long from. Yeah, then the first trade today was like, where is it? Where is it? This first trade here was like this one. We had like a pretty great buying today. We held this area once pretty good. I wanted to go long from there. I was waiting for, I can show you on the footprint chart. I was waiting for, as you guys saw, I was waiting for the buyers starting to come in. They came in and I wanted to see them getting somewhere back into these areas and my stop loss being below the lows, but it didn't work out. Instead, they made like a crazy good higher high. And why I haven't traded it on the first kind of test was because you couldn't have known. It was like only one indication down there. They weren't like able to make like a new high. Before that, it looked like they want to go lower. And yeah, I haven't taken this trade. Instead, they just rallied, got like pretty oversold several times. The CVD divergence indicator printed some bearish divergence line, but they got like a little bit higher and then they failed. And as you guys know, the 6437 area here was like an area of low volume and them trying to get like higher. You can see like this peak here, this one here was like the expectancy for me to see them trying to hold this area, but then they failed, which was kind of interesting to me. I wouldn't say I had like a bad entry. Why? We came back into those prior resistance here. Back then there was like some pretty good negative delta here as well. They got like oversold here, had like on the footprint you can see it. They had a pretty big volume down the lows, and they got like a good rebid. More buyers started to show up. I mean, it wasn't like very bias dominant, but I still like the kind of idea for them trying to hold out the balance low from the new balance, which could have been like captured from the buyers, but ultimately they failed. Crazy buy pressure came in, and then they held those lows from down there. I don't want it to go long from here because it was like somewhere in this high volume area, which you should avoid to trade at all costs. And what I did next is a trade, which is like the only one why I might be not like annoyed, but which I might regret. That was like this along from here, because I expected them to get like higher from here. Why? Because as you guys can also see, huge sell absorption from those lows they previously held, where those big buying started to shape up, where they made like a new high, and I wanted to see them holding like this area, and they failed failed pretty heavily, and then they broke below this low, broke lower, 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 and I was watching out for something like this here. And why I haven't gotten into this trade, they were like overbought already here, so I thought, yeah, maybe I want to go long from here, short from here, and just try to, and they just try to stay above like this balance. Why above this balance? Because as you saw, there was like a lot of volume migrating into this area. This was like the low volume node, as you saw, like the red one. And yeah, I expected them to hold out this area. They did, as you saw, retested it, but it was just a little bit too low. And I didn't got into this because there was just this crazy news move happening. Got like higher, and I thought, damn, with those news from Trump announcing some stuff, it can likely happen that they just shoot higher and stop me out. But ultimately they failed. Were like constantly grinding lower low until they were coming into this area. Can you guys remember this area? Exactly, that was the area I marked out on my trade plan, which was like this area here. And why haven't I traded from the lows here? I basically like got stopped before like the big move happened. Before like this big move happened. And I was just a little bit too impatient, probably. I just got caught up in the action of those big buy imbalances here, trying to get higher. There was like hardly any volume down there, big sellers, big volume down there, and this rapidly spike. If those volume balances are getting like those heavily yellow shape, that means that there is more than 600 positive delta. And I thought, damn, they want to like really hold it here. We got higher. I wanted to go long from this area right here, and they failed, got stopped before they moved higher. I could have definitely tried to place my order like a little bit lower, then I wouldn't have got stopped. Yeah, okay, I would have gotten bottom ticked. Whatever, basically missed this great trade from here. I was aiming like from here for like this 18-point move, would have been like even way more. Great, that happens, down 3 on the day. I'm currently on a good losing streak, but the thing I like about it, or the thing why I'm not regretting anything, to be honest, is because I changed the system. I'm still not tilting, I'm still being disciplined, and that's all that matters. There is like this crazy environment going on with the war and all this stuff, so there is expectancy there for a change of the environment. So overall, always show up every day. Don't let it too much get into your head, and yeah, we will see us tomorrow.